you just come back from Euro Disney. How's Mickey?
Yeah, Mickey's great. You know what? You get yourself in the mood for it. I find myself waving to Mickey and Minnie and shouting Donald. It was great. I had a real good time.
I hear Rocco thinks that Mickey's now everyone's real and that you should have Mickey at home.
Yeah, exactly. No, he absolutely loved it. He's only 2, so he's at that age where he believes it all. So it was great.
Probably more tiring for you than him.
Oh, it was. It was unbelievable. I was running around everywhere, but it was good. It was good.
It's a month now since the Butte fight. I was there. It was an unbelievable atmosphere. It was like being in a football stadium. Talk me through that experience. It
was fantastic. I've been to that arena, the Capital FM Arena in Nottingham. I boxed there about 12 or 13 times, maybe more. On about 3 or 4 occasions, we've had the place really, really busy, like 7,000–8,000. But that particular night, it was totally full to the rafters. I think there was close to 10,000. So the atmosphere was phenomenal, better than anything I've ever experienced. And I've been to packed stadiums. I mean, I can't remember who Ricky Hatton boxed when he boxed at home after the Floyd Mayweather fight, but it was like 50,000 in the outdoor stadium. But the atmosphere in that arena that night was even better than that. It was electric, just phenomenal. Really, really enjoyed it.
What were your thoughts as you're making that ring entrance? You know, the roof is lifting off. Nerves set in, or were you just totally sort of zoned out? I
was totally zoned out. I mean, I was in the zone because I knew I had a job to do, and I was so focused and concentrating on what I needed to do. The crowd was there, and I was soaking up the atmosphere and I was enjoying it, but I was just concentrating on starting fast and just putting a lot of pressure on my opponent Butte, and that's what I did. I came out all guns blazing.
I was going to say, you got your game plan spot on. Was that exactly how you planned it?
Yeah, I needed to put educated pressure on him, be very forceful, but not stupid, because you can walk into shots just rushing your work. So it was pressure, but it was, like I said, educated pressure. And once I caught him around 2 or 3, I knew I could close the show, and that's what I tried to do. And
I mean, people were saying potentially he could have finished in the 3rd round because he was in trouble.
Yeah, he was in the 3rd. I think at the end of the 4th, he was literally stumbling back to his corner. Maybe he shouldn't have come out for round 5, but it made more of a spectacle for the fans.
So how have you, since that month, have you just been sort of soaking it up and, you know, obviously being with your fans in Nottingham?
Yeah, it's been great. Don't forget, I'm former 2-time WBC champion. I've defended that title 6 times, the WBC world title. So to become world champion that night in Nottingham was a fantastic occasion for me. It was a memorable event, one I'll never forget. But it wasn't like when I first won the world title back in 2008.
Talk me through the difference of the feelings.
Well, I mean, when you first win a world title, you're not sure if you can become world champion. You're not sure if you're going to realise your dream. And you know, when I beat Jean Pascal in 2008 in Nottingham in front of my home fans, that for me was phenomenal. And I had a broken rib and I had a cut above my eye, and I felt like I'd been in a fight. That night with Lucien Butte, the atmosphere was electric, and it was a night I'll never forget. But I was confident I was going to win the fight, and I've already become world champion. But it was nice because it proved a lot of doubters wrong.
I was going to say it cemented. It was familiar, but it was sort of cemented a lot of sort of doubted critics, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, and it proved to myself as well as all the critics that I'm still belong at this level, and I've done it in such fantastic style and totally outclassed a top-level fighter. A lot of people now might say, "Oh, Butte's not that good," but Butte is a really, really good fighter. He'll come again and he'll do great things. I was just too much for him that night.
Obviously, there's talk of Kessler. What's your take on that? And can you see it happening?
Yeah, Eddie Hearn's now still in talks with his promoters, and there's a lot that needs to be done in the background before the fight becomes a definite. And at the minute, it's not definite, but over the next 2 weeks, we should have an announcement either way. If we can't do it in October or in the autumn this year, then I think early next year, maybe May, would be good to get it in the City Ground in Nottingham.
And do you start, you know, with the months leading up to that, do you get back in the gym? Do you tick over? Or do you just have a complete wipe out from it and a break from boxing altogether?
I've had a couple of weeks of doing nothing, which isn't always helpful for the body, but it's good to recuperate the bones and the joints and rest the mind as well as the body after a big fight like that. Because I was in the gym for 3 months. But no, I'll tick over now. I've done a run this morning, and I do.
How did that feel?
It was hard, and I do quite a lot.
More exhausting than Disney World?
Oh, it was, yeah, definitely. But Disney World, it took it out of me. But at least I'm walking around there. Yeah. But no, the run this morning was hard. But the body is quick to forget how fit you are, and I'm at the ripe old age of 35 very soon. I turn 35 in a couple of weeks, so I need to stay on top of the training and just let my body know that I'm still an athlete. So I had to watch my diet and just tick over 2 or 3 runs a week, just steady until I get the day.
You were in absolute peak condition for that last fight. Are you finding as you're getting older it's harder to reach that peak condition?
I think your recovery just takes longer. I mean, my runs are just as fast, my training is just as intense, and I'm sparring just as good and lifting just as much weights. as I've always lifted, you know, in terms of my body weight and reps. So I know exactly what I'm doing is as good as when I was 25, you know. But I think all it is the recovery takes a bit longer. So if you have a hard session on a Monday, you're feeling it Tuesday and Wednesday instead of just Tuesday. So, you know, the mind has to be stronger. But as you get older, you get more mature, and, you know, they say wise old fox, and it's true. You know, I've got wisdom, so I think the balance of the two is great. And I think I'm very much at my peak at 34. I'm 35 in a couple of weeks, and I think I'm peaking strength-wise. And I think once you get past 36, 37, you're not going to get any fitter or stronger. It's slow, slippery slope downhill, but you can still maintain it in this sport. You can still do the right things. I mean, diet and nutrition, and, you know, sports science is getting more and more, you know, it's becoming more educated now amongst fighters and trainers. So hopefully I can box on for as long as I want to box on. But I think I've got 2 or 3 big fights left in me before I'll lose the desire. You know, I don't think my body's going to tell me to stop. I think it'll be my mind saying, look, you've had enough now. But at the minute, I'm world champion again. 3 times world champion, and I want to defend the title, and I also want the fight with Michael Kessler. That's a big fight I'm looking for. So once I've done that, then I'll decide whether I can blame my body then and say I'm too old and just retire for the sake of it.
You've been with Matchroom for about just over a year now. Obviously we can see from that the reaction of Eddie Hearn, the last fight. You've got a fantastic relationship. Talk me through that.
Yeah, Eddie Hearn is a fantastic man. Anybody who meets him, his dad, Barry Hearn, he's an unbelievable character and just a great man to know. And Eddie's obviously rubbed off. His dad rubbed off on Eddie, and Eddie's also a fantastic bloke. He's been brought up very well, and he's very educated and knowledgeable on his chosen sport, which is boxing. And he's just fantastic to be around. He's a pleasure to work with. I consider him a very good friend, and he's just got that he's got a bit between his teeth. You know, he's got the passion for boxing, and you can see it when you work with him. And you see it when he jumped in the ring when I stopped Butte. I mean, too early.
That brought a lot of tears, I have to say, for everyone.
Yeah, he jumped in there. He lost the plot, but, you know, fair play to him. He wanted me to win more than probably myself, more than anybody in there. You know, my girlfriend, my mum and dad, everyone there is wanting me to win. But you can see that Eddie is so passionate, and it's not about money for him. It's not about, you know, being in the limelight. You can see that he loves the sport and he loves the moment. And that moment for him, when the ref jumped in and stopped the fight was over. Eddie did the right thing. He jumped in the ring to celebrate. That was fine. Well, we say that now, but no, you can see that the passion's there, and I feel that as well. And it's fantastic, really. It's a great team to be working with.
Well, listen, thank you so much for talking to me. Enjoy the rest of your summer, and hopefully we look forward to a fight with you and Kessler.
Yeah, too right. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.